What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka New York Prepper. Wanted to just do a quick video on field sharpening of your knives and knife sharpeners that I carry for field sharpening. And when I say field sharpening, I mean if you're in a bug out situation and you're bugging out, or you're in a tactical environment, all right? If you're in a situation where you're, away from your home base or your home, and you're out in the field, let's say you're on a recon patrol or you're on a security patrol, all right, after SHTF, and you want to have some type of way of keeping your blades sharp, okay? This can also apply to your survival kits and your hiking kits, all right? If you're into hiking and backpacking and hunting, just being out in nature and being in wilderness areas, you want to make sure that you have a way to keep your blades sharp in the field, okay? And the best sharpeners that I personally can recommend to you guys, there's two of them that I carry in my bug out bag and in my tactical bag for SHTF, and in my hiking kits when I go hiking or I go hunting or I go in the woods, okay? These are the two sharpeners that I always carry with me no matter what I'm doing, all right? So I can keep my blades sharp, all right? And that's, the first one is the Fall Niven CC4, okay? Fall Niven CC4. Now, it's not the DC4, it's the CC4, okay? This is the one you want. Comes with this little leather pouch, and I really like this. This is a ceramic sharpener, all right? So it has, you can see I used it quite a bit. I have some fresh ones that I keep in my bug out bag. But so it has two sides. It has this medium grit ceramic on one side, and then it has this fine ceramic on the other. Okay, so what you do is you sharpen with the medium grit first, and then you go over to the fine grit afterwards to polish off the blade. All right, but this is one of my favorite multi-purpose and easy to use field sharpeners. Okay, now when I say field sharpeners, I'm not talking about Arkansas stones or Japanese water stones. Okay, those to me, I mean, you could use an Arkansas stone in the field. It's just that you're going to need some kind of an oil to use with the stone. If you don't use any oil with an Arkansas stone, what's going to happen is all the shavings from the when you're actually sharpening the blade, these little, you see this dust here, all right, that's the actual steel that's removed. All right, when you sharpen a blade, you're actually removing steel from the blade, and that little dust that comes out gets embedded into the stone. And that's why Arkansas stones, you're supposed to use oil with them. You put oil on the surface of the stone, so this way those little dust particles don't build up inside of the stone, because once they build up inside of the stone, if it's like a porous surface, like Arkansas stones are very porous because they're natural, all right, the dust is going to build up inside of the stone, and you're not going to be able to sharpen your blades as well, okay? So if you use an Arkansas stone and you plan to carry it with you, make sure you have a little bit of oil. All right, you can carry like a little bottle of oil. You can buy like a small, even like a little hand sanitizer bottle, and you can fill it with some oil. All right, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Even just regular gun oil will work if you're going to carry an Arkansas stone. But I don't plan to use Arkansas stones in the field because it's just too, with the oil and everything else, it's just too much time involved. All right, field sharpening, I want something quick and easy, and that's going to restore my edge to a decent level. All right, I'm not going to be able to get it to the same level as if I have, all my stones here, at home, but I want to get it to a decent level where I can, still, the blade is still going to be reasonably sharp, almost to what it is if I used my full stones at home, okay? So this is the one one of the two that I use, all right, the Fall Niven CC4, and because it's ceramic you can use without water or any you don't have to use any kind of oil or anything, okay? You can use it dry, and that's what's good about ceramic stones. You can use them dry, and this particular one, it has that fine side of it, which I really like. It's got the medium, and then it's got the fine, which it's actually really hard to find a fine ceramic stone like this. All right, most of the ceramic stones are usually just very coarse or medium grit, which is not really good for blades. You know, you want to be able to polish the steel off and close up any pores that are created by the medium grit with the fine grit, okay? So Fall Niven CC4 is one of my stones that I use, and the other one is not actually a stone. This is my SHTF knife. If you've never seen it before, I've mentioned it many times on my channel. It's a Benchmade 119 Arvensis knife, okay? And in this sheath here, which I had custom made from a designer on Etsy, I have a little pouch here, and inside of this pouch I have a Lansky Blademedic inside. Okay, let me just get it out here. Okay, I like to keep my stone with my pouch together, okay? So let me just get this thing out here. Okay, I just have it jammed in there tight. So I like to keep one stone in my backpack, in my bug out bag, which is this one, the ceramic, and then the other one is the Lansky Blademedic. These are really cheap, all right? These Blademedics are only like $15 or $10. And the reason why I like to have a variety here is, all right, a ceramic stone or any kind of sharpening stone can break, all right? I can probably break this with my hands right now if I wanted to. They're not very strong, okay? So if God, you know, something, let's say you're in a wilderness survival situation or SHTF, and you drop your backpack and this cracks somehow, all right, then you're not going to have a sharpener. You know, you can try to salvage it somehow, but it's not going to work that well if this thing cracks in half and you only have a little piece to work with here. Okay, so you want to have some kind of a backup that's more reliable than a stone. And that's why I like this this Lansky Blademedic. It also gives me the option to quickly sharpen my knife in the field because it's got these pull-through. It has two pull-through sharpeners here. One is ceramic and one is carbide. All right, I never use the carbide at all. Okay, carbide, you should never use that on any knife you have. It's going to destroy your blade. The carbide is only if, you know, if you have like a nick or a chip in your blade where the blade is actually chipped or there's a nick on the blade, that's when you use the carbide, okay? Or if it's severely dull for whatever reason, you really dulled your blade, then you use the carbide. But the problem with the carbide is it removes too much steel, okay? You don't need to remove that much, and it actually peels microscopically. If you zoomed in on the blade, it actually peels the steel away rather than gently filing it down like the ceramic does or any sharpening stone. And when you peel the steel away like that with the carbide, it messes up the profile of the blade, and it just destroys it, you know. So carbide is only use that for emergencies, okay? If your knife is extremely dull and you have damage to the blade itself, then you use the carbide. Otherwise, just use the ceramic and just pull through. What you do is you put the blade, you hold this down and you put the blade here and you just pull it through like this, okay? That's it. Very simple, very straightforward. You pull through, and that gives you the ability to quickly sharpen the knife. If I don't want to, you know, sit here, if let's say I'm in a tactical environment and I don't want to sit here and sharpen by hand for hours upon hours, you know, holding the stone and sharpening like this and getting it really perfect. You know, if I'm in a rush and I really want to get the blade quickly sharpened, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my Blademedic here and I'm just going to pull it through. I'm going to pull through the ceramic side a couple of times, and it's going to restore the edge to the blade, all right? Obviously, it's not going to be as good as using this, but it's going to get me to where it's a functional knife and I can use it, all right? So that's why I like to have this Blademedic, because, and I put it right on my pouch here, on my knife pouch, because if I get separated from my backpack, okay, and I have to sharpen my knife, I have something to sharpen it with. I don't have to start looking for stones on the ground. That's why I keep it with my knife on a pouch, okay? And again, this is not going to break. This is a aluminum. It's like a hard aluminum housing. So this is not going to break like a sharpening stone will. Okay, sharpening stones are fragile. So the sharpening stone, I keep it in the case, and I keep it in my bug out bag, in a part of my bug out bag that's not going to get crushed. I don't have any heavy objects on top of it or anything, or I don't have this on the bottom of my bag, so if I put it down, it's not going to crack. Okay. And so here on this Blademedic also, another cool thing about the Blademedic, it has this little ceramic for serrated blades. If you want to sharpen your serrated blades, you can sharpen them with this ceramic here. You slide the serrated the little circular things. You slide them through here. Okay, and this also gives me another surface. If I want to use this to sharpen, I can also use this surface to sharpen as well. Okay, if I want to touch up, let's say there's a nick on my blade and I chipped my blade and I want to touch that section up, I can use this edge here to hit that specific area. Okay, and again, I can use this to sharpen serrated edges as well. It has this profile here. It has this this profile, and then also it has this folding diamond rod here. Okay, and with this rod, also for serrated edges, I can use this to sharpen serrations, serrated blades, because it's round. You see the round shape of it. So if I have a serrated blade, I can sharpen the serrations on it because it has that round profile. Okay, if I want to. And this is just a diamond coated rod. Okay, and I mean, this diamond coated rod, you can even use this to sharpen your blade if you have to. You don't want to do that because diamond is very it removes a lot of material. It's very coarse. Okay, so you don't want to use this if you're just touching up your blade. All right, if you have to reprofile your blade or fix a chip or a nick or something in your blade, that's when you're going to bust out the diamond and the carbide together. You're going to use the carbide and the diamond to, remove a lot more material from the blade and reprofile it. But if you're just touching it up, just use the ceramic surface, and also you can use this surface as well, but you just pull through here. You're probably gonna have to pull it through quite a bit of times because it's a finer ceramic. So you may have to pull it through like 40 or 50 times, but I guarantee you it's much faster than having to do it by hand with this stone. All right, this is more of like if I have like a good 15 to 30 minutes of free time, then I'm gonna sit down and start using this. Okay, but if I'm in a emergency situation, and if let's say I'm I just don't have the time for whatever reason and I want to quickly touch up my blade, that's when I'm going to use this pull through sharpener. I'm just going to pull it through and restore my edge real quick. And I have this paracord lanyard, which is important, so this way if I'm sharpening, I don't want to drop this on the ground. And if I'm in a wooded environment and it's dark outside, I may not be able to see where this thing fell, so I got a little lanyard for it. Okay, so these are my two field sharpeners, the Lansky Blademedic and the Fall Niven CC4. Okay, and I'll just show you an up close. It has a screw here, so you can actually undo this and you can take it apart if you want to. If you start to wear out some of these pull-through sharpeners, you can take them out and turn them to the other side once they start to wear out. All right, so that's cool too. So definitely check this out, the Lansky Blademedic and the Fall Niven CC4. This one's a little more expensive. You're going to pay around $30 for this stone. but it does a really good job. It profiles the blades really well. And so check that out, guys. Those are my field sharpening tools, and I hope I gave you some good ideas. You know, again, you want to have something that's not going to crack and something that you can quickly, put an edge on your blade with. And then you also want to have some type of a stone, okay? And so thanks for watching. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.